All right, let's jump into another deep dive. We're going to be looking at a YouTube video today by Tyler from Secure Team.
Oh yeah, I've seen that channel.
So, for those who may not have seen it, he basically delves into like all these unexplained phenomena and potential conspiracy theories.
Right.
It's really kind of like a whirlwind tour of all the strange and mysterious stuff out there.
I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. And this specific video, I'll say, covers a lot of ground. So we're just going to kind of pick out the highlights, the things that really kind of grabbed our attention and see what our expert thinks about all this.
Okay, sounds good to me. I'm ready.
All right. So one of the first things that I thought was really interesting was this potential giant glass dome on the moon.
On the moon, really?
Yes. So apparently a viewer sent in this picture to Tyler, and it's from the far side of the moon.
Okay.
And it's this weird shape. It's described as like this smooth, round shape right on the lunar horizon,
Huh.
like a giant glass dome. I mean, seriously.
Wow, that sounds pretty wild.
And it supposedly has like these darker structures inside.
Oh, so you can see through it.
Apparently.
Wow.
And there's a reflection of sunlight off of the side of it. So, I mean,
And what could that be?
I don't know. So I'm super curious, like from your perspective, what are even some of the potential explanations, right? Like,
Yeah.
could this be something like just a weird natural formation, I mean?
Well, I guess it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the moon has been hit by asteroids and meteors and all kinds of stuff for billions of years.
Right, right.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure impacts could create some pretty strange shapes.
Okay, okay. So that is a possibility.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
I guess I was thinking like, okay, so Tyler also compares this image to like other dome images, including one that shows like inside a lunar crater with a visible cross-shaped structure inside it.
Oh, really?
Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like jumping to conclusions or
Yeah. Yeah, it might be a bit of a stretch there to connect those two things without more evidence.
right, right.
I mean, some people claim that NASA airbrushes photos
Yeah,
to hide evidence and stuff, but you really got to be careful with that kind of information.
absolutely.
Like what's the source? Is there any other evidence to support it?
Right, right. And actually he mentions this specific image came from this YouTube channel called Wiederman 1953. Have you ever heard of it?
I don't think so.
He actually tells his viewers to download the picture before it like disappears.
Oh, wow.
Like it's forbidden knowledge or something.
That's really interesting. Well, I mean, if there really was like a giant artificial structure on the moon, wouldn't there be a lot more evidence?
Right.
You'd think we'd have images from multiple sources by now.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point.
Okay.
Okay, well, let's move on to the next thing that I thought was really interesting. This is a potential UFO sighting in Hollister, California.
Okay. California.
This guy, Alonzo Padilla, sent Tyler a video that he shot while he was having like a barbecue with his friends.
A UFO sighting at a barbecue. That's pretty casual.
Yeah, right.
What did they see?
Well, they're filming this commercial airliner that's flying overhead, just, normal day.
Right.
But then they notice this smaller, dark, round object, and it's like right above the plane.
Above the plane.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's keeping the same speed, it's keeping the same proximity to the plane. It looks like it's following it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then it gets really interesting when Tyler zooms in. It looks like there's this like thrust coming from the back of the object, although he says it could just be sunlight.
It's tough to say with just a video,
Uh-huh.
right? Could be a reflection or something. I mean, we don't have much information to go on.
No, you're right. You're right. It's definitely not conclusive, but it does make you wonder, right? I mean, have there been other similar incidents where people have seen things like this?
Oh, yeah. There have been tons of reports about UFOs, interacting with aircraft over the years.
Yay.
Yeah, like, remember the Concorde UFO incident? There was this disc-shaped object that was filmed flying near a Concorde. And then there were the Foo Fighters the pilots were seeing back in World War II.
Yeah.
It's been going on for a long time.
Oh, yeah. And I remember reading about President Obama's former pilot on Air Force One. He said he saw this glowing disc, too.
Right. And that famous picture from 1954 with the disc shadowing that military jet over Edwards Air Force Base.
Yeah, that's a classic.
And speaking of Edwards Air Force Base, that incident Tyler mentions from 1965 with like 12 UFOs being spotted and fighter jets even went after them. There are audio recordings from that.
Really?
Yeah, declassified recordings of the military talking about the sightings. He even plays clips of it in the video.
Wow, I gotta check that out. It's just it's so eerie listening to those old recordings. They're talking about these objects moving at incredible speeds, doing maneuvers that our planes couldn't do.
I can imagine.
It's really, I don't know, it makes you wonder if they are, interested in our aircraft or if it's just a coincidence that we see them, you know, passing through.
Right, right. I guess that's the big question, isn't it? Are they checking us out, or are we just catching them on their way to somewhere else?
Exactly. Exactly. Well, let's shift gears for a second and talk about something a little bit more lighthearted. These zombie patrol
Zombie
cars.
patrol cars. What's that all about?
Yeah, so there's this car in Belleville, New Jersey. Someone sent Tyler pictures and it's like all decked out for the zombie apocalypse.
Oh, come on.
No, seriously. It's got this like biohazard symbol on the door and then on the back it says zombie patrol or something like that. I mean, what do you make of that? Is it like a prank? A movie prop? I don't even know.
That's so strange. I mean, is it just this one car, or are there more out there?
Well, Tyler compares it to this other, like, more heavily armed zombie patrol vehicle that was spotted in Dallas, Texas.
Okay, so maybe it's like a trend or something.
Maybe. Maybe. Or maybe there really are people out there who are, like, dead serious about prepping for the zombie apocalypse.
Right. I mean, who knows? But it's pretty funny to think about.
It is, it is. It's, I don't know, it speaks to our, like, fascination with the end of the world, I guess. Or with zombies.
Or both.
Yeah, maybe both. All right, well, let's move on to a recent scientific discovery that I thought was really incredible. They found this massive ocean, like 400 miles beneath the Earth's surface.
Wait, what? An ocean underground? Like, how is that even possible?
Yeah, so it was discovered by some U.S. and Canadian scientists. They were using these things called seismometers, to measure vibrations in the Earth.
Oh, yeah, like for earthquakes and stuff.
Right, exactly. And they were picking up these like strange readings and these audio frequencies coming from deep, deep down.
Oh.
And then to confirm it, they found this water-rich diamond, and it's like a tiny time capsule from that depth.
A diamond. Wow.
Yeah. And it basically proves that there's this huge reservoir of water down there, like 3 times the volume of all the oceans on the surface combined.
That is insane. So there's like a whole other ocean under our feet. What does that even mean for, like, the Earth and how it works?
Right. That's what I'm wondering.
What about life? Could there be things living down there?
Right. I mean, it's crazy to think about, right? What kind of creatures could survive in a place with that much pressure and no sunlight? It's like discovering a whole new planet right here on Earth.
It really is. It makes you realize how much we still don't know about our own planet.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, let's shift gears one more time and talk about something that NASA is warning us about. Earth's vulnerability to asteroid strikes.
Asteroid strikes. That's a little scary.
Yeah, a little bit. So John Holdren, he was the White House science chief under Obama. He said that we are not fully prepared, but we are on a trajectory to get much more prepared. So they're acknowledging it's a real threat, but they're also saying they're working on it.
Okay. Well, that's good to hear, I guess.
Yeah.
So what are they doing to, get ready for something like that?
So one of the things that they're working on is this mission called the Asteroid Redirect Mission. It's called ARM.
Asteroid Redirect Mission, ARM.
Yeah. So they're going to launch this robotic probe, and it's going to target a near-Earth asteroid, pluck a boulder from its surface.
Wait, they're going to, like, grab a rock from an asteroid?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then use this deflection strategy to change its trajectory.
Yeah, they're going to move an asteroid.
Yeah, they're going to nudge it off course. Pretty wild, right?
That's some serious sci-fi stuff right there.
Yeah, no, it's pretty amazing. But it makes sense. I mean, even a small asteroid could do a lot of damage.
Right.
They found like this 68,000-pound meteorite in Argentina recently. And, the Barringer crater in Arizona, that's a huge crater, and it was formed by a relatively small asteroid.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, when you think about it that way, it's kind of scary. But at least NASA is taking it seriously.
Yeah, that's a good thing. But it does make you wonder what else is out there, right? What else could be lurking in space that we haven't even discovered yet?
That's a good question. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
All right, well, let's take a quick break to kind of process all this information, and then we'll come back and dive even deeper into these mysteries in part 2.
We've covered a lot of, like, really interesting stuff, haven't we?
We have.
Like that potential, like, moon dome thing,
Mhm.
and then that huge ocean under the Earth.
Yeah.
It really makes you wonder what else could be out there.
It does. And it also, it really highlights how important it is to, be careful about what you see and hear, right? Like you were saying earlier, we got to look for that extra evidence.
Yeah,
Got to be careful about where the information is coming from.
exactly. Like that moon dome image. You know, it's cool and everything, but it's just one piece of information. It
Yeah.
could be a hoax, it could be a misinterpretation.
Mm-hmm.
Not everything is like proof of something crazy just because it looks weird.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But then, like, how do you stay skeptical but also open-minded?
Well, you got to ask the right questions.
Yeah.
You got to consider all the different possibilities. I think it's possible to be open to like natural explanations,
Right.
but also like the possibility that something really groundbreaking could be happening.
Yeah. Okay, so speaking of evidence, I kind of want to go back to those UFO sightings for a second.
Okay. Yeah.
The one with the object following the plane in Hollister, California, I don't know, it just really stuck with me. It reminded me of that like Phoenix Lights thing from like 1997 or something.
Oh yeah, the Phoenix lights.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a huge one. Hundreds of people saw those weird lights over Arizona, and they described it as like this V-shaped formation of lights. They were moving really slowly and silently.
Yeah.
And some people even said they saw this like giant triangular craft just hovering up there.
I think I remember reading about that. It was like one of the like most well-documented, like widely witnessed UFO sightings ever.
Oh, for sure. And a lot of people think it was something really strange because there hasn't been a good explanation for what those lights actually were.
Yeah. And then, you think about like all the UFO sightings over the years, it's kind of hard to just say it's all just people being mistaken or making stuff up.
True. Do you think it's possible that some of these things could be like actual extraterrestrial activity? I don't know. It's a tough one. I don't want to jump to any conclusions.
Yeah.
But it is like really interesting to think about. And there is a lot of evidence out there that suggests there might be something we just don't understand happening in our skies.
Right. And it seems like even the government's taking it more seriously these days. Like, I don't know if you've heard about that new Pentagon task force. It's called the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force.
I think I did hear about that. Yeah, the UAPTF.
Yeah.
Yeah, they started that in 2020. And it's basically to like investigate all these reports of, unidentified stuff flying around.
Right. And that's pretty big, right? Because before they were just kind of like ignoring it all or explaining it away.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is definitely a big shift. So what have they found so far?
Well, they've put out a couple of reports.
Okay.
And they're basically saying that there are objects out there that are doing things that we just don't understand how they're doing them.
Wow. Really? They're actually admitting that they don't know what these things are. That's amazing.
It is, yeah. It is kind of crazy. Do you think this like new attention and research is finally going to give us like some real answers about these things?
Oh, I don't know. It's tough to say. But I do think that the more we learn, the more data we gather, and the more seriously we take it all, the closer we're going to get to figuring out this whole mystery.
I mean, it would be incredible if we finally had proof that we're not alone in the universe, right?
Oh yeah, that would be huge.
Yeah.
It would change everything, like how we see ourselves, how we see life, everything.
It's crazy to even think about. But okay. Let's go back to that incredible like underground ocean that we were talking about earlier.
Okay. So,
What are like some of the challenges of actually exploring that place?
well, I mean, it's 400 miles down, right?
Right.
Like the pressure down there must be insane.
Yeah.
We'd need some like really serious technology to even get down there.
Yeah.
And then, you got to build something that can handle that pressure
Right.
and still be able to like send information back to us. It's a big challenge.
Yeah. It's not like sending a submarine down there, that's for sure.
No, definitely not. But I mean, scientists are clever, right? They're already working on things like, autonomous robots and new drilling techniques.
Oh, okay.
So who knows? Maybe someday we'll be able to actually see what's down there.
What about life down there? Have scientists said anything about that?
Oh yeah, they're really excited about the possibility of finding new life forms.
Yeah.
Things we've never seen before.
Right.
Because, I mean, if you think about it, it's so different down there, right? It's like an alien environment. High pressure, no sunlight. Whatever's living down there would have to be totally unique.
It's like another planet, but like right here on Earth.
Exactly. And it opens up all these possibilities for astrobiology too. If life can survive in that kind of environment here, then maybe it could exist on other planets and moons too. Places where we thought life was impossible.
Wow. Okay, so it's not just about searching for life on planets that are like similar to Earth anymore.
Right. We got to think about like places like Europa and Enceladus.
Right.
They have these subsurface oceans, maybe even Mars. There's water ice under the surface there too.
So the search for alien life just got a whole lot bigger.
Exactly. And that's what's so cool about science. We're always learning new stuff, pushing the boundaries of what we know, and expanding our understanding of the universe.
I love that. Okay, well, I want to circle back to something you were talking about earlier about evidence.
Oh, yeah.
How do we like figure out what's real and what's not, especially with like all this crazy stuff that's out there?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's really important to be skeptical. Don't just believe everything you hear, but also you got to be open to the possibility that you might be wrong too. We need to look for evidence that can be checked, that can be verified.
Mm.
Does it fit with what we already know about the world?
So not just any evidence. It has to be good evidence.
Exactly. We got to be
Right.
smart about it. We can't just accept something because it sounds cool, right?
Right,
You
right.
got to think critically.
That makes sense. So it's like it's about being open-minded but also using critical thinking skill.
Yeah, exactly. And the scientific community plays a big role in all of this too. It's not enough for just one person to say, "Hey, I found something amazing." Other scientists need to be able to check it out, try to replicate it. That's how science works.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Like peer review and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's super important. It helps to make sure that the research is good,
Ah.
that the conclusions are solid. It's like a system of checks and balances to help us figure out what's real and what's not.
So it's not just about like proving or disproving something. It's also about learning more, understanding more about the world.
Yeah, exactly. And that learning never really stops. There's always something new to discover, something new to explore, and new mysteries to try to figure out.
I love that. All right, well, on that note, let's take another quick break, and then when we come back, we'll wrap up our deep dive into Tyler's video and all this mind-blowing stuff. Stay with us. We're back for the final part of our deep dive into Tyler's video. It's been quite a journey.
Oh yeah, it has. We've covered like a lot of ground. I think the big takeaway for me is that we got to be careful about what we believe,
Right.
but we got to be open to new ideas. Like I
Yeah.
said, we can't just dismiss everything that sounds a little out there. Like remember that underground ocean? Who would have thought that was even possible? I mean, it blew my mind.
Yeah, yeah, it really did. And it just shows that there's still so much that we don't know about our own planet.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
and who knows what else is out there, right? Like if there could be life in a place like that, I mean, what else is possible?
Right. It's pretty amazing.
It really makes you think.
It does. And speaking of amazing, I keep thinking about those zombie patrol cars.
Yeah, those were pretty wild, weren't they?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a funny thing, right? But I also think it says something about us as humans. Like we have this need to be prepared.
Right. Even if it's for something that might never happen.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, a zombie apocalypse is probably not going to happen, but
Probably not. But it's fun to think about.
it is, it is. And I guess, being prepared for anything is probably not a bad thing, right?
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
not. It's good to be prepared. So I guess what we've learned from all this is that, the world is a pretty mysterious place.
Yeah.
There's a lot that we still don't understand.
Yeah, there are a lot of unanswered questions out there.
Exactly. And I think that's really exciting. There's always something new to discover, something new to learn about.
I totally agree. And what really stuck with me from this whole video is just how much is out there that we haven't even begun to explore. Like the depths of our oceans, the vastness of space. It's mind-blowing.
It is. It really puts things into perspective, doesn't it? Like
Right.
we're just this tiny little planet in this massive universe, and there's just so much out there that we don't know about.
Right. And I think that's what makes it so exciting to keep exploring, to keep asking questions, and to keep an open mind about what's possible.
Absolutely. I mean, who knows what's out there waiting to be discovered? Maybe there really is a giant glass dome on the moon. Maybe there are aliens flying around in our skies.
Hmm.
Or maybe there's an entire civilization living in that underground ocean. I guess we'll just have to keep searching and see what we find.
Exactly. So to everyone listening out there, keep that curiosity alive. Keep looking up at the stars, keep asking questions, and never stop exploring the mysteries of our universe. Who knows what incredible discoveries are just waiting around the corner. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, and we'll see you next time.